So I'm sitting in, I think, the closet one day, because that's my space, after a long, hard day of marriage. And I was thinking to myself, it should not be this hard. And you know what? I'll be the first to admit that a couple of Western romance movies have thrown me for a loop, because they give you this idea of what romance is and what marriage looks like and what soulmates are. And they have you thinking not only that it's possible, which it definitely is, but that it is consistently possible, that every day can look just like the last day in the movie You Got Mail. You know, when they like meet each other in the park. Come on now, let's be modest. They meet each other in the park across, the flower bed, and they run each other, and it's like, it was you, it's always been you. And as I was sitting there thinking it shouldn't be this difficult, I started to think, maybe it's hard because I married the wrong person. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back for another episode of Wife Life. I'm Ryan, and on Wife Life, we talk about all things wife, all things life, a little bit of humor sprinkled in there. But I'm always honest with you guys, because life's too short to be fake, and marriage is way too serious to lie to folks about it. Amen. Amen. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. If you don't mind, consider giving this video a like on faith. Really appreciate it. It's very encouraging, and it lets me know what you guys would like to talk about. But you can also connect with me on all social media platforms, Ryan Marie Traylor. Without further ado, let's get into this video. We are talking about, did I marry the right person? And I'm gonna stop with the hand gestures. It's just my thing. It's my thing. I do hand gestures. They don't always make sense, but here we are. Okay. Jonathan and I weren't love at first sight. We were lust at first sight. We were adoration at first sight. Is that a thing? But we were not love at first sight. And I know that because I've experienced love at first sight. And it is sweet, and it is beautiful. It is fantastic. But it's not what he and I shared. Now, that doesn't diminish the fact that I absolutely love and adore my husband. Now, I'm not about to have y'all being like, oh, she said she don't love her husband. So look, it's not an uncommon thing for men and women to look back and say, oh my goodness, did I make a mistake? Is there somebody else out there? Or was that other person the person? I'm pretty sure that at least 60% of the people watching this right now, yeah, I just threw out a statistic, and that's fine. Statistic. Have had a moment where they looked at their significant other or looked away and said, did I make a mistake? Now, if you're expecting for me to be on this video and say, girl, if you don't feel right, if your heart is not in it, if you don't have that in love feeling, girl, you need to leave him and wait for the Lord to send you somebody, because that's not what I'm about to say. But I will help you along the way, because sometimes our hearts deceive us. So I'm gonna tell you guys a few things that have helped me. First things first, you might be focused on the wrong thing. We ask ourselves constantly, because we are a selfish people. We are also not really honest with ourselves most of the time. So we, in all of our relationships, constantly are asking ourselves, is this the right person for me? And if we like that person enough, we will actually convince ourselves that he's right for us, even if we don't. And that's not to say that you are comparing yourself to someone who is above you. You're just comparing yourself to someone who is not congruent with you. Here's what you need to be asking yourself. Am I the right person for him? And he in turn should be asking, am I the right man for her? Anytime that I have questioned, it was because I was looking at him and trying to decide if he could give me everything that I needed. Number 2, girl, drop the fantasies. Right? Like, drop them. A few days ago, I was on this soapbox. Where's the romance? You did all this work to get me, now you got me. Where's all the everything? But I was actually misremembering our dating process. My husband has been pretty consistent. But most of us as women, we marry them off of the potential And we expect that they will grow and change. Why? Because we will mold them and help them to grow. Men, on the other hand, they don't think that way. They actually are thinking, I hope she never changes. And what happens? We change, which is what they didn't want, and they don't change, which is what we didn't want. So when I thought back, I was like, I mean, he wasn't like super creative. He didn't have to be. I was so accommodating. Maybe I should have been tougher. Any person can keep that stuff up for 2 weeks, but you know what? The fact that Jonathan Blake Traylor knows me and is still ride or die, and he still brings me flowers every once in a while, is like, oh, you, okay, you real with it. So drop the fantasies, but also you can create those things in your marriage anytime you want, if you want. Another fantasy we need to drop is misconception that there is one person out there. It's just one person for you. You gotta drop that. It's baloney, baloney. There's a couple of people that we could make it work with if we wanted to, and if marriage is for us. Number 3 is marriage is the expert course, the master class in acceptance and unconditional love. It is the closest thing we will ever get to experiencing God's love for the church. This is a harder thing to do if when you got married, you thought that you would be able to watch him evolve and change and grow. If you thought that, oh, if I could just get him away from this person or that person that was influencing him wrong, then things will be better. And then you kind of got them away and you realized he's still that way. Even if you married some clay that will not mold, because guess what? He's already been formed. Now it's really time to love and accept. And number 4, trust God's love for you. Trust his ability to make all things perfect. Trust his desire to give you perfect peace. Even the decisions that you feel like, oh my goodness, I messed that up. He can fix them, and not fix them like get rid of your husband, but he can fix them in a way where you start to see, oh my goodness, there's something for me here. He is perfecting me through this. And not like in a Paul, like I'm a prisoner of the Lord type of way, but in a way that where there is actual joy. The first thing we have to do is 1, get rid of all the fantasies, and then be willing to get to work. So single women, you may be watching and you're like, Ryan, I watch these things to try to know what I should do, what I shouldn't do, how to prevent it. Y'all, I breathed in some air and went all the way back to the back of my throat, dried everything up. It's like dry bones in there. Let me, hold on. Y'all, I hope this is not one of my kids' waters. I love them and they came from me, but I do not want to drink after them, okay? Okay, so you may be wondering, how do I avoid situations like this? There's really no, if you're looking for a cheat code, I don't have it for you. There's no way out of certain lessons. Even the best person for you, you might still have moments of doubt, because that's what we do. But one thing that I would suggest for you right now is to stop trying to find the perfect man for you, and instead start trying to figure out, am I the woman for him? This guy is amazing enough, and we start trying to fit into places where we don't fit. The next thing is trust the opinion of the men in your life. And when you make a decision, make the decision and leave it alone. Unless directed otherwise, unless red flags, unless saying, oh my goodness, this is not right. And in that case, take your time with the decision and take your time with a final choice of dun 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 dun. Put a ring on it. Not the words to the song at all, but I don't know them. Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, please give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. Y'all know I can't talk. I look forward to talking to you guys on another video. Bye. One more thing before I let you guys go, because I don't want to hold you, but if you cannot keep your heart 3 stacks, your mind intact, and your clothes on, stay away from your shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and your almost doesn't count, okay? Because it's not worth it.